Hey everybody, we have an Ibanez RG470 MB, an autumn fade metallic. This goes from a deep red orange up to a nice copper, and the headstock does the same thing in reverse. This is an Indonesian made Ibanez with a street price of $399 through Sweetwater. I picked up this example used from Guitar Center and I paid 7% sales tax, out the door $299 and change. No gig bag when you buy it brand new, no case, so just budget that accordingly, but this is about the guitar, not about accessories. So we'll start at the bottom and we'll work our way up. You have your standard input jack. For all our sound samples, just note the tone knob will be all the way up. We have tone, volume, 5-way selector. The positions are, the bottom is the bridge, the next position up from the bottom is the inner coil of the bridge humbucker and the single coil. The middle position is the single coil. And then when we move one position up, we go from the single coil to the inner coil of the neck pickup. And then the final position is neck pickup only. We have a Floyd Rose style tremolo made by Ibanez here. The neck is a 24 fret Wizard 3 maple neck, black dot inlays. And I want to take a moment to just say about the fretwork on this. There used to be a negative connotation to import made guitars. Now, when you're in the United States and you reference an import, obviously you mean anything that's not made in the United States. If you're watching this overseas, well then anything is practically going to be an import guitar to you. But on a lower end, guitar made in Indonesia, Korea, China, Taiwan, those places were notorious for having quality control issues. Well, the Indonesian Ibanez I'm holding here certainly avoided all of that because the fretwork on this is phenomenal. Like I said, I picked this up used. I think the person, when they had it, they were intimidated by the bar because the example I got right here, it was practically brand new looking when I got it. The back plate still has the plastic on it. There's no pick scratches, anything like that, and the string still felt pretty new. So fretwork was very, very good. It was set up for the string gauge that was on it. I changed the string gauge that I put on it, so I had to do a little setup work, but that's normal when you change your string gauge. So with that said here, this Wizard 3 neck, they say it's a 3-piece neck. So you have one solid piece here, you have your fretboard, and then where our scarf joint is, we have another piece that's glued there. I want to put this out there. So I have guitars that are single piece neck with no scarf joint and the tilt back headstock. Many of my Paul Reed Smiths are that way. It takes a lot of wood to do that. And I have guitars with tilt back headstocks that have scarf joints and they're very, very strong. So don't think for a minute a scarf joint's bad. All right, so the frets, like I said, they're dressed beautifully. There's no sharp edges and they're a jumbo type fret. The pickups, I'm going back to them. They are quantum pickups. I'll zoom in on this real quick. Those pull pieces are very reminiscent of a DiMarzio pickup. I'm not sure if this is a DiMarzio design type pickup, sort of like how Seymour Duncan had the Duncan designed line. They weren't made by Seymour Duncan, but Seymour Duncan gave them the specs. I don't know how that works. I don't even know if Duncan design's still a thing anymore. But regardless, 4-bolt neck pattern here. Super easy access to the upper frets. Something I want to point out, and this is a brilliant move, the trem cavity, you can access the screws without taking the cover off. If you look at a lot of older 80s guitars, we took the plates off because we were tired of taking the plate off, putting it on in between adjustments. And let's see here. Oh, also, this is what I wanted to show you. The truss rod cover is the same way. You can access the truss rod without taking a screwdriver to it. You saw I just used my guitar pick to go in that little groove. I think those two additions to a guitar, while they don't affect the playability, they affect the care and maintenance, and it makes it a little bit easier to deal with. Okay, so Meranti body. Meranti is a very broad term for wood. It's like saying that's maple or that's oak. I believe this is a fast-growing, easily sustainable wood, and that's why they choose it. It's a hard wood, like I said, maple for the neck. We have a locking nut, 43 millimeter space at the nut. The neck at the first fret's 19 millimeters. The neck at the 12th fret is 21 millimeters, and our radius is 400 millimeters. That radius is a very flat fretboard. This is meant for your heavy metal, your shredder, anyone that wants to get around the fretboard and do wide vibrato, shred licks, stuff like that. So these are really meant for comfort. Now that's not to say that you can't rock or shred on a 7.5 or whatever, but this is built with speed in mind. for all of our sound samples, we will be doing this in a medium high gain. To me, this is a very high gain setting, but some folks and some music that I was listening to prepping for this, they would probably consider this medium high. They might want even more. And we're just running guitar straight to an amp, minimal effects going on there. You're hearing this recorded with an iPhone, so bear that in mind. What we'll do is we're just going to do a simple E, G, D, A. We'll do that 2 times through. And then after each one, we'll do an E minor up and back. And we'll do it open and palm muted with the E minor. And we'll start at the bridge, and then we'll move our way up. Okay, so this is the bridge humbucker. Let's go. Okay, now our next position will be the inner coil of the bridge humbucker and the single coil. Okay, now we're going to go to just the single coil, and for a quick reference, I am 2 feet, 3 feet from a computer tower. I have a router practically touching the guitar, I have a modem practically touching it, and I can touch my computer monitor right here. So this is a pretty quiet single coil. Okay, now we're going to go to the single coil with the inner coil of the neck pickup. Almost forgot to give you the E minor there. All right, now we're going to go to just the neck pickup. Okay, so my personal opinion is I really like that bridge pickup. I think it sounds pretty good. The single coil is kind of quiet. I wouldn't use it in a high gain setting. And for me, when I use a single coil, I like it in the neck. But that's not about me. This is about the guitar. The neck pickup, I'm not really sold on. It's it's there. But for me, that bridge pickup's it's real nice. But I don't think you can go wrong for $300. I mean, $300. Got a guitar that stays in tune. It was easy to set up. It looks cool. Now let's talk about this bridge. So here we are. In tune. I mean, it works. Help if I could hit the harmonic. Now, forgive the playing today. I don't know if you can see this. I lacerated my finger pretty well, helping the neighbor with his brakes, and it's currently held together with super glue. Bleeds through a couple times a day, and figures you go to help him out, and I'm the one that gets hurt, not him. But anyway, back to the guitar. I think it's pretty good. The pickup clarity in this bridge pickup, and I don't know how well you'll hear this through the iPhone recording of a guitar amp that's over this way, but we'll just play real fast kind of metal type, just screwing around. It has pretty good clarity to me. I can make out the notes. I can discern everything with it, I think it sounds pretty good. And then, you know, like I said, whammy abuse, it stays in tune. So when I first started playing guitar, you could not get these features, this fit, finish, and quality for this price. I remember the first good guitar that I bought was, now I'm assuming it means made in the USA because it says crafted in the USA, but it was a USA PV Predator. So I'm dating myself here. And think of a Highway 1 Strat, but worse with the fit, finish, and build, but maybe on par with the older electronics. And maybe one day I'll do a video on that, and I'll single-handedly do what David Hobby did to camera flashes when he started the Strobist website. So there were all these old manual camera flashes that were worthless in the digital realm if you were trying to use ETTL or whatever Nikon calls their version of it. And David Hobby, he was like, hey, you can use these in manual mode, and if you're not an idiot, you can change the settings. Well, maybe when I do the video on this PV Predator, everyone will go out and instead of it being a $150 chunk of shit guitar, you know, it might be desired again. It won't be, I can assure you. But back on this, it looks cool. It plays well. I have no complaints with it, with the exception of the collar. I mean, you can tighten this down and you still get a little play. I've tightened up the screw in the back as much as I can. I'm afraid that if I go any tighter, I might crack anything. But it's a good guitar. Ibanez really did a good job on this. Full disclosure, I do not get endorsed by anyone. I buy my own stuff. This was my own purchase. Ibanez did not send me this. This is not a paid promotion. I certainly am not promoted by Guitar Center. They and I don't like each other, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how a corporation physically wouldn't, you know, but I could do a video on that. If you see my Guitar Center packing video, you can see some of my problems with it. And it's nothing against all of the workers. It's some of the workers that just get in there and they don't care. And then part of it too is the way that Guitar Center and Musicians Enemy, as we'll call them, run their show. But that's a video for another day, or you could just search online. There's several discussion forums, discussion boards, and YouTube videos where folks have went on ad nauseum about this. So if you can, support your local music store. And it just so happens if your local music store is a Guitar Center, well, you know, those people in that neighborhood, they buy things in that neighborhood too. So got to do what you can for your people. All right, close it out here. We'll just see you next time.